now, and we are here. We are live. People aren't watching, but we're here anyway. Right, guys? Right?
I don't believe
you gonna leave me alone?
Yeah. Well,
So I think there's like a 10-second delay. So if you're trying to watch yourself, you can't watch yourself yet.
I want to watch myself.
that's sad. I want to see my ugly mug anymore.
No, I can't watch myself. Why not? Why not? Why can't I see myself in a purple tank top with my armpit hair out
I
everywhere?
just want to see myself.
Hey, bro.
I can't
First of all-
I can't
first of
rock a
all,
tank top
Brandon,
anymore.
It's plum. Second, he doesn't have any armpit hair.
No leg hair. You still shave your legs?
I never shaved my legs.
That wasn't you? There was a bunch of people in high school that shaved their legs. I remember it.
Steven Teeters.
Well, I remember he did.
Teeters shaved his legs, but he did that for musical stuff.
There was a lot of wrestlers. I can understand a wrestler who shaved their legs, but there was a lot of guys.
He also did it like once or twice just to be weird.
There. Shout out to Steven because we are live.
I'm gonna tell him to watch this because I was making fun of him.
Oh, it's too funny.
Well,
So,
hey, you got to tag him in this after we're done.
Yeah, Steven Teeters. Who's that guy who shaves his legs? Dude, it's cool. Michael Phelps does it.
So we should probably start talking about sports.
Dude, we just were talking about sports.
I know.
Yeah.
Michael Phelps.
We talked about sports for the last hour.
I feel like we talked about more sports in the last hour trying to set this up than we will for the next 40 minutes that we're actually going to talk about sports.
Well, that seems contradictory.
I know.
Well,
I don't understand.
My Giants are disaster outside of Saquon.
Hold on, who are the Giants? Is that an NFL team?
San Francisco?
fighting Saquons. Dude, so how does that make you feel about your Texans?
They're
The only
garbage.
win
They're garbage.
The Giants didn't make the playoffs.
The Giants need to get their head out of their butt and start an actual quarterback.
Houston, Boston, Milwaukee. Who else made the playoffs? San Francisco didn't make the playoffs.
Oh, I thought you were talking about beers for a second. Milwaukee, Boston. I'm like,
I was talking about the only relevant Giants, the San Francisco Giants.
San Francisco Giants.
I'm sure there's like a couple high school teams named the Giants that are probably like pushing for a state.
Oh, they made a movie about it.
I was saying, wasn't there an old like Pee Wee football team, the Giants or something?
Yeah.
The
annexation of Puerto Rico. Solid play.
Wasn't it the Bad News Bears? Wasn't it the Bad News Bears was the annexation of?
No.
I don't know, but now that we're talking about like sports movies when we were kids, I just watched The Big Green the other day again. You guys remember that?
Oh, yeah.
The Big Green. The soccer movie with the little chubby goalie. It came out like right after D3 and the Mighty Ducks. Like the Mighty Ducks was the thing,
I remember
and then
D3.
And then Little Big. They had the goat that would eat the grass on the field. It was like their mascot.
Dude, I don't remember this.
Oh my
Brandon?
gosh, Big Green. How do you?
I saw it back in the day. I don't remember much from it.
You guys aren't that much younger than me that you can't remember a movie.
Yeah,
I
you're old as
watching
shit.
movies.
I know. I feel like it. If you don't remember a movie
I remember so many kids sports movies. I saw so many Air Buds. I thought that dog.
you really thought dogs could fly. Dogs could play basketball.
Angels in the Outfield.
That was a good one.
My favorite sports movie as a kid.
My favorite sports movie as a kid was Little Big League. Come on. Which
one's Little Big League?
His grandfather owned the Minnesota Twins. He died and left them. He's like 12 years old and he left them the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah.
It was either that one or Rookie of the Year with the kid.
Rookie of the Year was also
broke his. Yeah. So, what did he say? Oh, what did the doctor say whenever he hit him?
I can't remember. I just remember the motion of the arm, man.
Oh, funky butt lovins. Yo, you hit him in the face like funky butt lovins.
Yeah,
dude. They don't make sports movies at all like they used to.
Yeah.
I don't think so. What's the last good one? Did anybody see?
Last good sports movie? Probably Friday Night Lights or something like, or what was The Replacements?
Oh, The Replacements was dynamite. Yeah. The Replacements is like 20 years old, right?
Yeah, Varsity Blues. Hardball. Varsity Blues was my jam in high school growing up.
The garbage picking, field goal kicking Philadelphia phenomenon.
Dude, I actually like that movie. That one, what was the one that Mark Wahlberg played the receiver in Philly?
Invincible.
That was a good one too. There was a couple of good sports movies, but
I would like it better if it wasn't supporting the city of Philadelphia. If it was about like any other city.
I think we kind of have. I think we agree on that.
Yeah. Anybody that has Emmanuel Sanders starting this week just got a 28-yard touchdown pass.
That's a
Denver's
bummer.
up 14-0.
Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah. Of course, I'm playing Emmanuel Sanders 4 leagues this week, like against me. So if I'm going against somebody in fantasy, they probably have somebody that's going to perform extremely well this week. So.
I don't know. I have Lindsey. I hope he does well. I was really hoping that game would be at home, that it would be in Denver, so I could go see it. I'd have bailed on you guys in a second.
Oh, I wouldn't have. You're here with us. I wouldn't have blamed you. I would have been like, "Why aren't you at the game?"
Well, because it's Arizona.
As far as Week 7, what are we thinking about? What are we thinking about this Chargers Titans? I think Marcus Mariota is going to die in this game.
Break both
11 sacks.
Break both elbows.
Who gives up 11 sacks?
The Penn State Nittany Lions.
It's too early.
In the NFL.
It's too. Brandon's gonna bash Penn State for like 10 minutes at the end of this, so it's too early to even start talking about Penn State.
I'm not gonna bash.
Well, Penn State the question was, legitimate.
Marcus Mariota gets sacked 11 times last week. All right,
that's absolutely unreal.
One away from the record, right?
It's absolutely unreal. I don't know how an offensive line. I don't know how anybody keeps their jobs. Like, I'm literally going to the free agent list, and I'm trying to see who can I trade Taywan Taylor for. Can I get 2 offensive linemen for Taywan Taylor?
Well, and here's the sad part about
Davis?
Tennessee.
Derrick Henry.
About Tennessee is they have Jack Conklin and Taylor Lewin, who are like all pro players. I'm not sure. I think they're one, or if not both of them are hurt right now. But still, a scrambling quarterback getting sacked 11 times, you got to question how much of that was him as well.
Is he really a scrambling quarterback?
I mean,
Mariota.
I mean,
he can avoid pressure, but
I just don't. I mean, Lewan is really good, but I don't get it. I mean, if I was an offensive lineman there, I would not feel confident in my job security. Like, I mean,
I would be happy if I went in and saw my locker.
Yeah, right. If my locker was still standing, I'd be pretty happy. I'm actually excited to watch the Eagles-Panthers game this week. I think it's going to be a pretty solid matchup.
Yeah, I'm hoping it is because Alshon Jeffrey, he continues to burn me. I don't know. I hope he has a good week.
I saw a lot of people going out trying to trade for Jeffrey. I don't think it's going to last. He's a good receiver, but I think it's going to wear off. There's no way. Do you see? He's chunky. He put on a lot of weight over his when he was hurt. And
well, I mean, he's a big-bodied receiver, man. He's like 6'4", probably 230, 240.
He is, but his man boobs are getting almost as big as mine. And I mean. He took his shirt off at the end of the game, and I was like, "Dang, man! Like you running past people like that?"
Well, as long as he can catch it, I don't care. He could be rocking D's.
That's true. That's true. I think that I still think Cam has a good game this week. I don't think that even though they're playing the Eagles defense, I still think that he gets it done on the ground. I would still start.
I think McCaffrey kind of gets bottled. I think McCaffrey kind of gets bottled up.
Yeah. I would agree.
The Eagles are, as much as I hate it, I think they're slowly looking more and more like So we'll see. It'll be interesting.
I don't know that McCaffrey will get all that bottled up. The Eagles get gashed through the air, and he's done more between the tackles and off tackle this season, but he can still catch the ball. And I think that'll get exploited. That wide nine isn't necessarily the best at stopping those bubble screens and those little slip screens that he's pretty good at running. And Cam's tall enough to get him the ball. I honestly think the Panthers win this game at Philly, but we'll see.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Vikings Jets. This is kind of a weird game.
The Vikings are going to lose.
There's no way. You can't honestly think the Vikings are going to lose the New York Jets.
Okay, first of all, they lost to the Bills.
Okay,
so yes,
that was a fluke for one.
You don't lose a fluke. You don't lose a fluke that bad.
There's no way. There's no way the Vikings lose to the Jets. I don't see it.
I think
Crowell's out. Like I don't think they have the weapons.
And
Noon was out. So like,
but still,
Bilal Powell is the same back. He's the same exact back.
I would almost say better hands.
I was losing Nunwa kind of sucks, but Robbie Anderson, did very well last week, and he's kind of an older veteran receiver who will be a good safety blanket. If we can get opportunistic picks off Sam Darnold, maybe, but we haven't looked great against the pass. That's the Vikings. And Arizona was in the game last week too. It's just, and Josh Rosen was starting. I just think you can stifle rookie quarterbacks. Like, you can put them under a lot of pressure and get in their heads. But I don't think the Vikings are going to be able to do that. I think this Jets offensive line is big and pretty good. And this Jets defense is really nothing to scoff at, surprisingly so. But
another interesting matchup, Patriots and Bears. I think this is going to be a lot better game than what a lot of people think it's going to be. I don't think the Bears will win, but I think that it's going to be a good game.
I do. I think the Bears will win.
That's tough. I just don't see Tom Brady losing to the Bears after the way that they played last week.
They did play really well last week. This Bears defense is another animal. My thing is that the Bears can probably slow down, if not stop, the Patriots offense. Like, they have the pieces, but Mitch Trubisky is Mitch Trubisky. Who knows what's going to happen? Or, he can get the ball to 12 different guys and throw 5 touchdowns, or he can throw 1 touchdown and 3 picks and only target his tight end. I don't know what mood he's going to be in that day.
Yeah, and how many times do they give Jordan Howard the ball? Do they not give him the ball like they did 2 weeks ago? And before I traded him, pissed me off. Dude scored like 4 points. I was pissed.
I know.
I was I lost that game by 6 points, and I was down 6 points before he played, and it was he scored 4.
He was averaging 8 yards a carry in that game.
Like, bro, I needed you to score 6 points. I was pissed. But Tariq Cohen went off that game. Tariq Cohen had 150 yards, so I couldn't really.
So is he the real deal, or is he just a glitch back? Because last year I was convinced he was just a glitch back.
I think he's like a Tyreek Hill. The issue is the NFL hasn't found a good way to stop players like Tyreek Hill and Tariq Cohen, because they don't really have anybody that can match up one-on-one, and these offenses have too many weapons to say, all right, we're going to double or triple team you, or we're going to always play zone and shadow you, because they have so many weapons on the outside. Taylor Gabriel and Allen Robinson, they could both burn you down the field. So if you double team or triple team Tariq Cohen in the flat, or you shadow him in the flat, there goes Taylor Gabriel 60 yards down the field. So I think that they bring an aspect to the game that a lot of NFL defenses aren't ready for, but I feel like give them a year or two, and those type of players will be those those smaller guys, they'll start to get hit a lot harder at the beginning of the game. That way they're less effective throughout the rest of the game. I mean, all you got to do is hit one of them, put a big body on them, and, I mean, that's that. But the issue is trying to get somebody big enough to actually catch them and hit them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's that lightning in a bottle back, you know?
I mean,
there are only a few of them.
And they're fun to watch, though. Like, I love watching the Chiefs this year, Tyreek Hill. I like watching Tariq Cohen. I used to love watching Darren Sproles, Alvin Kamara, all those guys.
Has Cohen thrown a touchdown this year? He threw one last year.
I don't know if he did. I know Howard.
I don't think he has yet.
I think Howard threw one. Or no, Howard threw one last year, too. Howard threw one last year.
Odell threw one to Saquon, and that was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
I was like,
we should actually we should probably start him.
Odell would be a better quarterback than Eli Manning at this point.
Oh God, kill me.
You could probably start your center, and he'd have more completions. But I think another interesting one is actually going to be the Saints Ravens. I think that's going to be a very solid matchup. I think the Saints come away with it, but I would not be surprised if the Ravens win that game.
Do you guys think Buck Allen is a good start this week, since he's the pass catching back?
I think he absolutely is.
I mean, I think
would you start him over Adrian Peterson?
Are you trying to get fantasy advice on your podcast, on our podcast?
Just a hypothetical question.
over Adrian Peterson?
Entirely hypothetical.
They're playing the Cowboys,
who has been playing very good defense. I would actually, yes, I would start Buck Allen over AP.
Oh,
AP's he's had a couple down weeks. The Saints.
But if you look at AP though, he's going like great game, and last week was so he might be on pace for a great game this week.
Yeah, gosh, I don't know.
I hate that that's how you framed it up.
And is Sean Lee playing this week? I'm not 100% about that.
Oh, that's true.
I think Sean Lee might be out this week.
Well, I mean,
rolled out week 6.
It is week 7 of a NFL season, so Sean Lee is probably out.
So
but Adrian Peterson is still in. That's another thing.
The last update, Drew. Yeah, he was out. He was out week 6, but there's no update on him for week 7.
Okay, well, whatever.
I would start Buck Allen, in my opinion. I don't think the Saints line very good. I would start Buck Allen, but like I said, I'm sucking horribly at fantasy football this year, so
me too.
Probably be the opposite of what I say.
Yeah,
but
you and I this year.
It's been a bad year. Brendan, I do agree with you, though. This is a very good game. I'm going to give a shout-out to my buddy Brad Bush. His Ravens playing a lot better than anyone expected. I think they give the Saints a run for their money. I said...
Does Joe Flacco win the Super Bowl this year?
I don't think he wins the Super Bowl, but I think he actually leads a lot of Ravens fans farther than they think because, like I said on several podcasts, there's no quarterback more dangerous than one playing for their job. I think drafting Lamar Jackson sent a message, and I think Flacco realized, I'm kind of incumbent. I do think the Saints have more firepower, though. I mean, Ted Breeze is clicking.
Ted Ginn was just ruled out. I think placed on IR.
Good. Cam Meredith will start getting some catches.
That was actually going to be one of my questions. Should everybody be going for Cam Meredith now with Ginn out if he's available?
I have him in one of my leagues, the Dynasty League. He was just a deep keeper, but he might be valuable now.
Man,
that Saints offense.
It's plenty of riches.
Yeah.
Where's Ted Ginn throwing Cameron Meredith, who they signed in the offseason to be Ted Ginn. So what do you do? And Ingram is only going to get Kamara's only going to get better.
Yeah.
Absurd.
So another game.
Well,
I'm
they
actually.
need to put up points because their secondary sucks.
I think their whole defense, other than their line, sucks. To be honest with you,
they'll get it together.
Yeah.
They'll get it together.
But I want to see 2 more games. I'm excited to watch this week. I'm gonna go Texans Jaguars. I think it's gonna be interesting. I think the Jaguars are gonna come away with a win, but I think it depends on how well our secondary plays. If they continue to average 2 picks a game, I mean, we might be able to pull it out. But I'm waiting for Deontay Foreman to come back. I'm hoping week 8, week 9, he's back and takes the job from Lamar Miller. I'm over Lamar Miller this year.
Me too.
I'm over Lamar Miller in any year. I don't care what it is.
He was decent last year for fantasy wise. I think he was right around 80 yards a game average, which is pretty decent for fantasy. But the last game is Browns Buccaneers. I think that's going to end up being a shootout between Mayfield and Winston. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yeah. So my big matchup here is Denzel Ward against Mike Evans. I think that's a great matchup. And any Browns receiver against nobody in the Tampa Bay secondary.
Speaking of Browns receivers, I saw that the Giants signed Corey Coleman to their practice squad.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you got to feel for the dude. The city and
the issue
6 months. So
I think the issue is, why are you looking at receivers when you don't have anybody that can throw to them? That's my question.
Exactly.
You can't do anything with Eli, right? I mean,
you have to sit him. In my opinion, I don't care how much money you have to.
I don't think so. Because
do you want to win?
Behind him?
Do you want to win?
No.
You don't want to win?
Behind him? No, because whoever's behind him is not the future.
So
they need to let his contract run out and just play for a pick.
So what you're saying is, I don't think any team in the NFL doesn't want to win at all. I mean, even if they know they need a quarterback, there's going to be quarterbacks available in the offseason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. But you just can't. You can't do it. You can't do that to Eli.
They could also trade for a quarterback.
Do that to Eli.
I would. Too much loyalty.
I know you would. It's
a business. It's a business.
Yeah, but they
York
trade Peyton. They didn't trade Peyton mid-season. You just don't do that to a person of that caliber.
He's lucky I'm not the GM.
They're stuck with him. He should be traded.
Here's my take about it, right? Here's my take. I love Eli. I'm a diehard Giants fan. I love Eli. There should be a statue in East Rutherford of this guy. But, bro, you're averaging, your third down throws are over 2 yards short of the sticks. You are just not effective in this offense anymore. And there was actually, I was watching NFL Network, and there was an analyst that said one of the questions was, should the Jaguars trade for Eli? And the analyst was
you cannot replace Blake the Boat Bortles, undefeated on 6.
His only comment was, I would absolutely trade for any other quarterback, but
except for
you guys picked the one quarterback in the NFL that I think is Blake Bortles.
I was gonna say, if you're the Giants, I'd take Bortles over Eli right now. Eli.
Well, they just took Eric Flowers
to the AFC Championship last year.
I think
behind a defense.
The Jaguars' defense went to the AFC Championship last year.
Can we talk about Jalen Ramsey?
That way when we talk about Peyton Manning, Denver, it's so.
I do. Listen, I remember watching that season. Obviously, we didn't have this podcast then, but that season in Denver, he could not make a throw over 20 yards. Dude, anything over 20 yards was a duck. It was dead duck floating in the air.
Did you know that season he had to have somebody else cut his pads off of him? He couldn't do it himself. Yeah. He had to have an assistant take his pads off of him.
Yeah, he was, to me, he was struggling. I mean, that defense won them that championship. To me, I don't think there's any doubt. Another game. So I was watching I was listening to a podcast this morning. I think it was the Pat McAfee show, and everybody but one,
My boy Pat.
they actually
I love Pat
took the 49ers over the Rams this week.
for the brand. What?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the 49ers hung with Green Bay, who, hint, is not a very good football team. Like,
I guarantee Pat McAfee said, listen, bud. They have Sean Lee, who, punter, let's look at him get this snap here, bud. He is going to coffin quarter this dude. This dude's like, oh my God, what's going on right now?
Yeah, bud. Yeah, man.
Yeah, bud.
Yeah, bud.
Yeah, bud.
Yeah, bud.
That's big money stuff right
I'll tell
there.
you what.
That's why we get the big bucks.
I'll tell you what.
Brand.
I
brand.
want his voice though. He has a radio voice. If there's anybody that has a radio voice, it's Pat McAfee. He's got like that raspy voice. I listen to the show all the time. Shout out to Pat McAfee. Not that you will ever listen to this, but
Guys, can we go back? Wait, can we go back to last week and talk about the end, the Packers 49ers game?
ridiculous.
Dude,
Ridiculous.
I was like shitting myself when the clock was running. They had 16 seconds, and Aaron Rodgers keeps going one more.
Yeah.
He keeps going one more.
No, there was 12 seconds left, and they were inside the 30, and they panned to them. They panned to him, and they're like he's looking aside, and he's like, one more. Like it wasn't even like a can I have one more? It was a one more. Like you have no choice. Like I'm running this play.
They had no timeouts.
No.
Like I was like,
but one thing I will say is
ice in his fucking veins.
He also showed the respect that he has for his young wide receivers too, because he has to have faith in the fact that they will run a perfect route, they will get open, and they will get out of bounds. And
I was so sure he was unreal. Hit that fade. I was so sure he was going to hit that fade.
I didn't think he was going to. I didn't think he was going to. And I was hoping not.
It's Aaron Rodgers.
I was hoping not. I was down. Listen, I was up 7 points in my one league, and all the guy had left was Aaron Rodgers. And by the end, it was that last drive. I think I was up like 9 points. He ran down the field. I was up 7 points. If he would have threw that touchdown, I would have lost by 1 point in that league, and I would have been pissed.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, this better end in a freaking field goal, or I'm losing it.
Yeah, I had somebody in one of my leagues. I was down by like 9 points, or I was winning by 9 points, and this guy had Gronk, and it was like that last touchdown drive where Gronk broke one like 65 yards. Had he scored on that play instead of gotten pulled down at the 9, I would have lost.
Man.
And I was just like, in the last possible second.
Do you know what I hate the most in fantasy is I'll be watching like a Texans game, and I'll be like, obviously you're wanting your team to do really well, and then I'll look at my fantasy and realize in like 2 out of the 3 leagues I'm going against Will Fuller and DeAndre Hopkins and Deshaun Watson, and you're like, all right, listen, I want you to do good enough to win, but don't go crazy. Like, I can't have you go crazy. I can't have you have a 400-yard, 3-touchdown game, Deshaun. Like, I don't care if you go for 100 yards and a TD as long as we win. Every other game, it's like, all right, let's put up some numbers. It's crazy how fantasy does that. Like, it's insane.
It needs to be a 6-4 snooze fest.
Yeah, right. We just need the W. That's all I care about. I do like their kicker though, Fairbairn. He came out of nowhere, and he's like become Mr. Reliable for the most part.
I've carried him in. I've streamed him in one of our leagues a little while.
But I think any other games look interesting to you guys before we get into some NBA here, NBA action.
Yep. My Giants are going to be embarrassed again on Monday night. If I had one stardom player for this week, it's Michael Thomas against the Ravens.
I'm excited to see how Pat Mahomes comes back.
I mean, Pat Mahomes didn't go anywhere.
Huh?
He didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, but he lost.
He got an L, but he still played a dang good game.
I know, but I want to see. He's young, man. I want to see how he takes that out.
Oh,
Like,
you want to see how resilient he is, and
yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll say because I mean, dude still put 352 yards, 4 touchdowns up. You know, yeah.
Oh no, he was incredible.
2 interceptions.
He threw 2 picks.
Yeah. I can't believe.
I mean, he's got 3 picks on the season. Then
so Call of Duty.
The kid is incredible.
So Call of Duty came out, right? And I was playing Call of Duty, and I was like, I'm playing Call of Duty tonight. I'm done with football. You know, the Texans game had me going. I'm done with football. I'm watching the Chiefs, or I'm gonna play. I'm not watching the Chiefs play, and everybody's like blowing up my phone. Like, are you watching this? Dude, this is crazy. It's like the 4th quarter, and I'm like, there's no way. So as I was playing, I turned on my other monitor and pulled up Sunday Ticket, and I'm like, I'm watching it. That last 9 minutes was unreal as well. You're talking about the Packers game. The end of that game was
it was also just
sick.
Man,
was sick. That's what makes me love football. You know, to me, I never get that excited. You know, it could be the bottom of the 9th, tie game, whatever. Like, there's just a different feeling when like these quarterbacks are doing unreal things in the last couple minutes. It's
just doling.
You know, basketball, you know, tie game, down by 4, quarterfinals, semifinals, whatever. Like, yeah, I get into it, and the dudes are running their hearts out, whatever. But like, I don't know, football is just completely different for me. You know what I mean? Like those last couple minutes, I'm not even a Packers fan or cared who won that game, but I was on the edge of my seat. My legs were shaking watching Aaron Rodgers go down that field. It was unreal. But
dude, it was absolutely nuts.
Move on to a little bit of NBA talk here. You know, not going to get too far into it, but a couple of the games that really stood out to me this week. I think one was the Thunder Warriors game. I mean, the fact that Westbrook didn't even play and the Warriors only beat him by 8 points kind of made me, I don't want to say rethink where I thought the Warriors would end up this year, but it definitely made me realize that they can be beat. I don't think that they're now halfway through the season, once they get fluid, maybe not, but at least right now, they can lose some games at the beginning of the season.
That's all it is at this point. You got to think, man. They're gelling with DeMarcus Cousins. I mean, at that point, we can look at Houston, who lost by what, 20?
Mm-hmm.
It's the Carmelo effect. I mean, Carmelo sucks the soul out of teams. Yeah, at that point, write Houston off. So who else in the West is?
The Heat lost to the Magic. I thought the Magic looked good. I really thought the Magic looked good this game with and Mo Mamba. He's gonna be. I think he's gonna tear it up in this league. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Do you know if they're paying rent though? Because this is definitely Philly and Boston's league for the next 5 years. Yeah. I mean, the Eastern Conference.
I don't know
if Philly they have Boardwalk.
Listen,
and they have.
I'm a 76ers fan, but if Philly plays anything like they did this last week, I don't know how much winning they're going to be doing. They looked terrible.
Philly is going to do a lot of winning.
They looked terrible this week, and it was sad to watch. I was super excited for that game. I stopped watching at halftime. I was just like, unreal. It was unreal. And Milwaukee looked good too. Milwaukee, I thought Giannis, he's in like mid-season form already after first game of the year.
Yeah, I actually have notes here. I have Philly, Boston, and I have right below them Milwaukee. So I think Boston is the clear cut. They have a healthy Gordon Hayward now.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie's back, and they have Tatum, Brown. They drafted a rookie to watch. I think Robert Williams out of A&M. He provides them with that 7-footer rim protector, and he's a high-speed offensive guy. I don't know. I think Boston is going to be very, very tough to beat in the East. But if there's a team that can do it, I think it might be Milwaukee. So
how about DeMar DeRozan making his appearance for the Spurs? Puts up 28 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He looked really good. I I don't want to say I was surprised at how well he fit in, but he played very well. He distributed the ball. He played very well. And Karl Anthony Towns finishing with 8 points was kind of where did Cat go? But that was a good game.
Jimmy Butler ran him out.
Yeah, right? Yeah, 23 points.
It was a good game. I think Minnesota looked better than I thought that they were going to be with all this Jimmy Butler drama, and I thought he came out and played pretty well.
Yeah, he definitely did.
But
I think he came out and played well for a reason. I think he wants out of there. He wanted to go out there and be like, "Yo, listen, I'm worth it."
Well, that was his deal. That was his deal. He's like, "I'll play so long as you keep." Which kind of sucks because he is the leader of that team. But I thought San Antonio looked better than I thought they were going to. Just because that team is so weird, like that mix of people is it's very strange to me. I was surprised they were meshing. I don't know how every year they do it. I just don't. It makes no sense to me.
It's Popovich
team. Yeah,
Pop team.
Yeah. So
he gets the best out of some of the worst players.
And the oldest. Like, it's like a bunch of guys playing noon ball at Juniata, but they're one of the best teams in the NBA. I'm like, what the fudge is this?
It's like noon ball at Juniata on the outside courts.
Yeah, you couldn't
you didn't even make it inside. You're noon ball at Juniata on the outside, or even better, after school ball at the Wise store.
Yeah,
back in the day.
Actually, man, so, I don't know how he does it.
So here's the question: whose team is the Cleveland Cavaliers now that LeBron's game? Is it Kevin Love's team?
Kevin Love.
It's Colin Sexton. It's Colin Sexton.
Kyle
Bama.
Clearly Kyle Korver.
Hey, one thing I will say about this game, if it showed anything, is that they can spread the ball. They spread the ball a lot more when LeBron's not there. I mean, Love 21 points, Osman 17, Hill 15, Hood 12, Clarkson 15. Like, I mean, they spread the ball out, which is good. It's to show that they can do that. But when you have a guy like, when you have Kawhi Leonard showing up like he did, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, and 24 points, I think that was like a shove in the face to the Spurs. Like, I still got this. Yeah. Like, I'm worth everything that I'm gonna get next season, because he's gonna get. I mean, he's gonna get definitely max contract next year. I feel like if he balls out, if he balls out this year and continues this, he'll ball. And I mean, Lowry showed that he can play with anybody, not just DeRozan. 27 points from Lowry. There was a lot. I heard a lot of talk like him and DeRozan have this unspoken bond, and their relationship, the way they play on the court and everything like that. But I mean, he showed that he can do it with anybody. So that's huge props to him as well. I think that was definitely important for him to get out there and show that he didn't need DeRozan to succeed.
Yeah,
I can agree with that.
So what was the lowest score? So the 76ers had the lowest score out of any of the games this week, 87 points. Next was the Clippers at 98 points, lost to the Nuggets.
The Nets.
I can't even say lost to the Nuggets without laughing. Like, they lost to the Nuggets.
No. Denver's a decent team in the West, man. They got a lot of young talent, and you got to think Philly, man. They lost they lost their backup 3 and 4. And their 2 guard as well. So I mean, they're still mashing.
Well, right now, about to go into halftime, 76ers are leading the Bulls 64-58. It's a close game, and the Heat are beating the Wizards 52-50 with 2 minutes left in the second quarter. I think that the Lakers Trailblazers game tonight at 10:30, I'm definitely gonna be watching that. I think that's gonna be a great game.
Yep, Portland's my team. We had such a total Portland offseason to where we didn't address any of our needs, but we super overdrafted and oversigned for like our strengths. So I think what we're going to do is just come out and we're going to run Lillard at center, and then we'll just figure out the rest.
So here's I would say, unless you guys have anything else to add about the NBA, my last question is, did the Lakers-Warriors final preseason game where the Lakers won 119-105, did that show us anything?
No.
It didn't show you anything. Even though the starters played about the same amount of time, it didn't show you anything?
No.
Nothing at all. I want to shame you out of this video
so
chat
there's a
for even
difference.
thinking the NBA preseason, let alone the regular season, matters.
There's a difference between like
I think
playing the same amount of minutes and playing the same amount of minutes and giving a shit about it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, LeBron didn't even play. Like, LeBron didn't even play in this game.
Yeah,
And and Draymond played 21 minutes. Clay played 18. Steph played 12. Like,
Steph played 12 minutes.
LeBron played
12
0.
Yeah, but 12 that's statistically significantly low.
I don't think it showed us that the Lakers
also
are better than the Warriors, but I think it showed me that the Lakers are going to make the playoffs this year. I don't think they can beat the Warriors, but I think the Lakers are making the playoffs.
Lakers are I will say this. They will make the playoffs. It will not be higher than a 4 seed.
Wow. It will not be higher than an 8 seed.
8 seed.
Oh, I mean, it's LeBron freaking James. He's gonna make the playoffs. Lonzo Ball, I mean, oh God, I despise Lonzo Ball, but he has way more talent around him than on the Cavs. So like, he will definitely make it. The West is tough, but it's LeBron. I think 5 seed.
I think they'll make the playoffs. I'm not willing to. I'm not willing to get into where I think that they'll end up. I think I'm at least gonna go against Antoine and say that they're gonna make the playoffs, because the last podcast Antoine was on, he said there's no way the Lakers make the playoffs.
Oh yeah,
Antoine. Not only are you a Cowboys fan, oh man, that's a bad NBA prediction. I feel like.
So I would say MLB, we can get into a little bit. Right now, Game 5, Boston's leading the Astros in the bottom of the third, 1-0. Came out last night, 1-8-6. Boston leads 3-1 currently. Dodgers beat the Brewers 5-2. Dodgers are currently leading 3-2 in the series. What are your guys' predictions for who makes it to the World Series and who wins the World Series?
Boston.
Fair enough.
So who's Boston going to be playing?
Doesn't matter.
So these are straight hate picks.
Hate picks.
Because my Braves got knocked out. Let me just say a little shout out. I think I was so proud of the Braves this year. We're a couple years ahead of schedule. Our pitching is behind, and it showed against the Dodgers, who just go out and buy anybody they want. But I think Houston, I think they'll pull this game out. I think they'll win games. I think Houston's going to the World Series, and I think they're going to play Milwaukee, and I think Houston repeats.
So you think Houston's coming? You think Houston's coming back from 3-1?
Yep.
Who's pitching for Houston today? David Price. Okay, yeah, he'll end up losing today. All right, so they're going to lose today.
He'll screw that up.
So bring it to 3-2, and you think the Astros are coming back? I'm gonna say I think the Red Sox are feeling it. I think the Red Sox are gonna make it. I think they're gonna make the World Series against the Dodgers, but I think the Dodgers are gonna beat the Red Sox.
You can be wrong.
Fair enough. I think if they make it against the Dodgers, I think they win.
I think I'm right. You guys are wrong. All right, going forward. Well,
fair enough. I mean,
hope the Brewers make it so I can go to series games.
I would like to see the Brewers go, because I've never seen the Brewers win.
I don't want to see the Brewers go, because if their fans are anything like the Green Bay fans I know, they are the most insufferable
Well, here, hold on.
Dude,
I think you kind of you would have to be though, right? If you're a Milwaukee fan and you make the World Series, you would have to be insufferable. It's just like the Eagles fans when they made the Super Bowl. Like I feel like you kind of have to. I mean, could you imagine what Jordan's going to be like if the Vikings make the Super Bowl?
Insufferable.
It's insufferable.
Fair enough.
So, touching on a little bit, one of the things I want to talk about NCAA is I just wanted to kind of touch on the Heisman watch and who's listed, who maybe isn't listed that you think should be listed. And I don't want to hear Trace McSorley, even though I'm a Penn State fan. I don't want to hear his name.
Dude.
Hey, I have somebody that I would like to, put into the Heisman race or like give my vote to.
His last name Stevens?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
His first name's Tua, and he's the best quarterback in college football. And that's all that needs to be said about it.
Dwayne Haskins he's arguing that fact, as well as Oklahoma's Kyler Murray. Right now on ESPN's expert polls, they have Tua number 1, Dwayne Haskins number 2, Kyler Murray number 3. They're so close. Tua's 49 votes, Haskins 36, Kyler Murray 30. The next is actually a defensive tackle out of Houston, Ed Oliver. But it goes from 49 points, 36-30, down to 13. And then we get single digits with Darrell Henderson, running back out of Memphis, Justin Herbert, quarterback Oregon, so on and so forth. I think Tua is definitely better than Dwayne. I think Dwayne also, the schedule that they've played compared to the schedule that Alabama's played, definitely should be a little bit more involved when it comes to these polls, which I don't think it necessarily is.
Well, I'll argue that with Ohio State they've played a tougher schedule up to now, but at the same time, Tua hasn't taken a single snap in a fourth quarter all year. So his numbers are based strictly on, most times, first half, and actually a couple games this year, first quarter stats. And I don't know. We'll see. Alabama's schedule is very backloaded. We have Tennessee this week, bye, and then we have LSU, Mississippi State, and Auburn, all within a 4-week span. So we'll see. But obviously, I'm a huge Tua homer. So
you are.
I think you're both sleeping on the best quarterback in the NCAA right now.
Sean Clifford,
quarterback, Pennsylvania State University, Nittany Lion. He's perfect on the season. He's perfect on the season.
Oh.
95 yards, 2 touchdowns, a passer rating of 559.6, and he holds the record for longest touchdown pass in Penn State history.
The fact that we are talking about this right now makes me extremely sad.
This kid is the future. He is the truth.
He's not even going to start next year.
Yes, he is. No. You wait and see.
There's no way they don't let Steven start next year.
And we're going to the ship. Heisman. You heard it here first.
I know we talked about sleepers. One guy, like if you're showing a kid how to play football, the one guy on that list that you could sit down and you could watch every game of him is Ed Oliver, the defensive tackle from Houston. He's insane. I want to say his stats last year, he had like 28 tackles for loss as an interior defensive lineman. He's very, very good, very smart, and he's going to make an NFL team very happy next year.
So week 1, 13 tackles as an interior lineman. Week 6, 13 tackles. Other games 5, 6, 3. He's only had 2 sacks on the season though, 1 forced fumble.
Yeah, and you also got to think he's drawing 2, if not 3 blocks at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you definitely have to game plan around him. That's for sure. And if you're an interior line, if you're a lineman at all, your best compliment is for a team to have to game plan around you, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they're game planning around you, that means
good.
you're succeeding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But are we going to give any love to Kyler Murray at all?
Yeah, actually, a funny stat about Kyler Murray. He's making more money this year than every coach he's going up against.
Okay, so I'm
That's
intrigued.
like a true fact.
I don't think I know this. Why is he making more money than every other
So
coach?
he was drafted 9th overall by the Oakland Athletics. He signed a $9 million contract, and the A's are letting him play out this year of football.
I know that I knew that he got drafted, but I didn't think he actually signed. I didn't know he actually signed the contract.
I thought anything like that banned you from NCAA sports.
I mean, I guess unless they.
I'm 99% sure that he signed that contract.
Like that's why like Olympians who are on Wheaties boxes and stuff like that then can't play college sports. I thought that was a thing. Maybe I'm wrong. But I thought you couldn't sell your likeness. I thought it was.
I mean, maybe if he signed it,
It's
but
a different
maybe
sport.
he didn't actually sign. Maybe he didn't actually take the money.
Maybe it is that it's a different sport. I don't know.
Let me check here. I mean, I'm gonna check my facts here.
Kyler Murray will get paid $4.7 million this year to play quarterback at Oklahoma.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, Kyler Murray A's agreed a $5 million contract.
So do you guys watch? Do you guys watch The Shop at all? LeBron James' new show on HBO.
No.
No.
So
he stole it from Alabama.
So either way, I remember seeing that, but it's a bunch of sports stars, musicians, whatever, get together, talk about different things. One of the things, he is actually like fighting for or didn't believe in was the fact that, college athletes can't get paid, yada, yada, yada. So apparently he needs to get in contact with Kyler Murray and have high school kids understand that they can get paid by playing college sports. They just got to play more than one sport in high school and be good at more than one sport, get drafted in the one sport right out of high school and still play college sport the other. But did you guys see the NBA, the G League, is now giving an alternative to the one and done college career where they'll give out special contracts to kids right out of high school to play a year in the G League. It's a $125,000 contract, and you don't have to play. Basically, you get to skip that 1 year of college basketball.
Yeah, I did see that. I don't know how I feel about it. I've heard a lot of people say that it's going to kill college ball, and I've heard a lot of people say that it's going to make kids appreciate the 1 year of college to where they're not catching long flights on early morning flights on commercial aircraft, vice, and going and playing in front of 1,000 people, vice a packed Rupp Arena at Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, so. I guess my biggest thing is a lot of these these pro leagues, they force people to pretty much force them to play at least 1 year of a college sport. And if you're coming out of high school and you are good enough skill-wise, size-wise to play at a professional level, I don't see why you should be stopped. And I know that the NFL is also starting their Alliance Football League or whatever, which is supposed to be like a minor league football system,
Yeah, Trent Richardson's headlining that. So
yeah, but Trent Richardson on that lineup is only a second. He's the second string running back right now. So, I mean, the thing is, the first year they have to build a lineup, right? You're gonna pick, whoever you can get to start these teams.
Yeah.
But to give them an alternative, Jordan, let's say, maybe you're not book smart, or you're a player like, we've had a lot of players in Huntington, who were not good at school. what was the one running back that was so good whenever I was a kid, you guys were a kid, but he had dyslexia and he couldn't go to a school. He ended up driving truck. Like he couldn't go to a college because he couldn't, he couldn't learn. He was not good at education, and a lot of talent wasted. If he would have had this other option, he could have moved forward with his NFL career. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's all about options, and if we can give them other options than going to school, and not everybody wants to go to college. Not everybody cares about that degree. So if we have other options to give people different ways to get to the pros, I'm all for it. I mean, I don't think it'll ever hurt college sports to the point where they won't be there, they won't be competitive, because you're still going to get most of these people want a college degree. Most of these people want to play in that college atmosphere. Most of them grow up, I want to play for Alabama. I want to play for Ohio State. I want to play for Penn State. I don't think you're ever going to lose that. I just think you're going to have a few people who are not good at school bypass college and go to the pros.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So,
Sure
who's Alabama playing this week? Tennessee?
Yeah.
You ready to watch Alabama lose?
Well, the last time Tennessee beat Alabama, an iPhone didn't exist. So. Yeah.
Well, they exist now.
We'll see.
No.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. So, anything else you guys want to add, or are we gonna? This is our first time doing a kind of a live podcast. We didn't really have too much written down. I'm not gonna lie to you people. We actually have looks like 10 people that are right now watching between Facebook and YouTube.
Why are you guys watching?
It's Thursday night. Go out and.
I think the most.
There's a game on. What are you doing?
We had 20 people at most at one time. So for our first one, I think that I would call it a success. If you guys ever have any questions or just want to talk, feel free. Got Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, any one of those. Hit us up. We have a Twitter, but I don't really tweet or know much about it. I kind of
None of us tweet.
I kind of skip that whole Twitter thing. I never really hit the Twitter phase.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you guys ever have anything, let us know. Maybe we'll try to do this again. Let us know if you if something you want us to do in the future, and we'll go from there. So have a good one. Me. Don't message him directly, but you can message us on Facebook, because he doesn't read that anyway. Even though he was supposed to help with social media, he doesn't.
Yeah,
he's too busy.
I'm super busy.
All right, guys, we'll talk to you later.